Welcome to RVing in New England, the nation's only forum that puts you on stage with some of the biggest names in the RV industry. And now your hosts, John DiPietro and Bob Zagami.
Bingo!
Wow, very cool.
Welcome. We got people jumping on already. That's good. It's Wednesday night, RVing in New England. I think we got a spectacular show tonight, John.
We sure do. We have something old, meaning you, something new, meaning me.
Yeah.
Something borrowed. I don't know who was borrowed.
Something good looking, meaning me. Something ugly, meaning you.
Yeah.
Somebody with hair.
All over the place.
Somebody with hair, you, and somebody with no hair, me.
So it's going to be a great show because we have a little bit of variety of about every aspect of RVing, from the new products coming up from Tiffin to for those that want to get their serviced and add accessories and spin the wheel of savings with our friends at Majors RV. So we got Bernie hanging around. Bernie just got back from Nashville. He ate a lot of barbecue, I understand, when he was down there.
I don't know.
And we have a brand new first time guest tonight as well.
Why don't you introduce them and tell us what you're going to be doing with them, and I'll bring them up on the screen.
Okay. Well, starting tomorrow, it's the spring open house at Majors RV.
The picture was pretty good till that guy in the lower left there with the blue or the purple sweatshirt came on.
That hurt, Bob. You cut deep. You cut deep, Bob.
They're going to be over at Majors RV and with our friends Jill, Jeff, and our new friend Chris, who's the brand new owner. This is the announcement.
Right.
Chris is the brand new owner after 50 years of Majors family.
Yes.
The brand new owner of Majors RV. We have Christopher with us, Christopher Lowe. And Christopher, welcome to your first time on RV in New England. Tell us a little bit about your background. I know right away, as soon as you start talking, people are going to say, we got a Southerner.
I'm very South, if that's
welcome.
makes sense to everyone.
Welcome, Chris. Congratulations.
No, thank you very much. Exciting. It actually really started in 2023, and then actually really was finalized early mid last year. So we're I'm excited to be part of the Majors family. I'm even more excited to be part of the New England RV industry. I'm new to the industry. I actually came from IT originally in Australia, and then I apart from the family trips in the outback of Australia, pretty limited on that experience over here. So I learned from David. David was fantastic in our transition, and I think Majors RV is a little bit different in the industry, I suppose, in that we don't sell any new units, we don't sell any used units, and we don't rent. We purely focus on servicing the customer from a repairs and service basis. Jeff and Jill kind of lead the front on their parts. I would argue, leading New England, but I know that there's a lot of people out there that would argue that point. But I think they're fantastic. I've really, learned so much from them in the time that I've been there. So it's been fantastic trip thus far.
Yeah, well, Christopher, you won't get any argument. You won't get any argument from us because we know for a fact, we've been around a long time, that Jill and Jeff bring the best that there is to the industry. And there have been times, and I'm sure you've seen it already many times, but somebody will come in, and I've witnessed it. Somebody will come in with a tiny little something or other that fits in the palm of their hand, and just go over to Jeff and open. Oh, I know exactly what it is. I know exactly what it is, and Jill
They
will
can
run out and
tell
find
you
it.
what it is. They can tell you what unit it goes on, and then they'll go and get it because they probably got it in stock.
Yep.
It is a hell of a team down there. There's no question. I've been in the industry 29 years. I think I've known them all 29 years. But congratulations and best of luck going forward.
So, Christopher, in Australia, do they drive on the different side of the road than us?
They do. So actually, the doors on your campers are actually on the other side.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So, Christopher,
We
what
should
was it like?
we should introduce him to Julie Bennett from Bennett's. And,
No. But I want to give him credit because, Christopher, if you made it over the bridge and into that rotary, or as you guys would say, into that roundabout,
Yeah, that's right.
and still made it to majors, Christopher, you can drive anywhere.
yeah, and
John, you haven't seen him drive. Sorry, Chris.
Oh, he cuts deep.
So Jeff,
Wow,
Straight
another
to it.
one.
how long did you work there, Jeff, before you got fired?
Tomorrow morning.
It was 18 wonderful years, Bob.
He puts it in the past tense.
So Chris or Jill, you like to talk. What's
do.
going on at Majors RV Service Center tomorrow through Saturday?
We are having our spring open house. We are going to have everything on sale. We can't wait for everyone to come in and spend lots of money.
Tomorrow's what, veterans?
I know.
Yeah,
the
tomorrow
people-
is veterans and seniors, 15% off.
But there's no
and then-
wheel tomorrow, right?
No
that's
wheel
next
tomorrow.
year.
No wheel, okay.
But Friday and Saturday will be the wheel, and you get 10 to 40% off.
Yeah.
Okay,
Can you
so
do me a favor? And actually, it may be a job that Jeff could do.
Is that easy?
I know DiPietro is going to be there from 9 to 12 a.m. shooting videos every half hour. Going to show them up on RVing in New England. Could you put a for sale sign on him and sell them to somebody else?
Give it a shot.
Slightly
Bargain
used.
basement hunting.
Slightly used.
Bargain basement hunting. Very
Yeah.
well used. No warranty. No nothing.
As is.
As
reduced
is.
for quick sale.
As is.
Yes. As
Won't be a
is.
lot of
Manager's
takers. I'll be
special.
honest with you.
Yeah.
Not going to help the bottom line.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're
But
funny.
you know what? Let me be serious here for 1 second here.
Oh, come on! Don't
And
ruin
then
the
that's it.
show.
That's it. But when people buy established businesses that have been around for 40, 50 years, so many times they have a tendency to change everything. Okay, which I believe business-wise is one of the craziest things that you can do. But Christopher's been intelligent enough to come in and really, Christopher, you're kind of been a real observer of the situation, even after you got the keys to the building, and didn't want to upset the apple cart because, I mean, half of what you bought was not necessarily inventory and expertise, but the good name that Majors has built up over the years. So when you go in there, you're not going to notice anything different. You're still going to get greeted with a smile. You're still going to get service with certified techs, and you're still going to get satisfaction on everything that they do. So I commend you for being smart enough not to come in and say, this is my place now. Forget the Majors. It's Majors in name only. Christopher's taken over. So
We've been really lucky and blessed in that regard. We were lucky and blessed with David for the amount of years that we had David.
Absolutely.
And to have, excuse me, Chris come in after the fact and come in and have a seamless transition. He's a wonderful owner. He has our full support, and as well as we have his support. It's been really a seamless transition. Most customers, to be honest with you, don't know that we have a new owner because there's really not a whole lot has changed.
Right.
He's come in. He has some unique ideas that we're implementing throughout the store, and they're fresh ideas and they're wonderful. But yeah, no, we're absolutely lucky and blessed, and we know it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it's important. Let me just say one more thing. I think it's important to point out that David didn't have any health issues. He didn't have any family issues.
No.
He just said, look it.
Time to retire.
I've done this my whole life. I'm going to retire. He owns an RV. He's down in Florida, not too far from Bob.
Yep.
And,
Actually, he's in South Carolina right now.
I was going to say he might be heading back
He's on his
north.
way back.
But
his daughter's getting married in a couple of weeks.
okay,
Oh, okay.
so he's going
In a
to
few
enjoy life.
Yes.
Yeah.
In his RV. So
And he always, but you know,
nothing
he always
health-wise or anything.
he always did enjoy life. It was a pleasant experience when you went into Major's RV because number one, everybody knew everything about the RV industry. So it was a very comfortable environment for the customers. But they were there to have fun and make people smile. And when you do it, as long as everybody did and has done it down there, and you know the industry the way that you guys know it, people want to deal with people who know what the hell they're talking about.
Bob, we're in the fun business.
Yes.
You know, I wish we were curing
fun,
cancer.
right?
We're not curing cancer. I wish we were. We're in the fun business. You're on vacation. You need something for your RV. This is supposed to be fun. If it's not, and if it's not fun, then why are you doing it? So this isn't rocket science. It seems like it is sometimes, but it's really not.
No.
Yeah.
Give us any Jill. You're on top of this stuff. I know you do the hard work behind the scenes. And
Correct.
Yep.
Jeff jumps up in front of the camera every time John shows up. Jeff's out
He has
front,
the ball. He's
open
good.
the door. John, you want a cup of coffee? John, what can I get you? What are consumers and RVers and your customers going to see that's new this year? Remember, I think last year was the tent, the Thomas Paine furniture.
Yes, the Thomas Paine furniture.
Because I think last year it was the Lippert tent.
The gazebo.
What a crazy product! Just
Yes.
flew off.
And that
the
was a
shelf.
great price they had that at.
Oh,
And we'll have it again.
Yeah. What was it?
We have that
$199
price
or
again.
$229?
It was $299, and we still have them in stock. We held that price
$299.
from last year.
Yeah.
It's still $299 for this year as well.
Now,
So-
Christopher, there's only one thing that you need to do though that I haven't seen yet. You need to be able to have 10 pens in your top pocket
Oh yeah.
at any one
He's
time.
right.
Okay. You have a pocket protector up there?
I need to develop that. I'm constantly stealing Jeff's. I need to be better.
Oh, that's good.
One thing
I've
with
got more.
David, you knew if you needed a pen, he always had 10 of them. But they all said Major's RV, which was smart.
Jeff, you alluded to some new things that Chris is doing. Do you want to share some before the people come down?
Yeah.
And because if you're sharing, they might come down just to see them.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that Chris is set up, we have a number of different monitors now throughout the store, doing kind of the silent salesman with different products,
Beautiful.
seminars.
Beautiful.
The unfortunate part was Chris was no offense there, Chris was foolish enough to have me shoot a couple of videos. So unfortunately, when you come down, you may see this face for radio on a couple of the monitors going over product and different things. I apologize in advance. I'm sorry if you come down and see this mug.
Well,
It's my idea.
John's put you on a couple of videos.
Yeah, I know, but look at the source.
I didn't realize it was going to your head and you wanted to be a star.
You should know better.
I guess I did. Is he going to be handing out the black and white photos and signing them for the customers?
Oh yeah.
Brown and white.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Wanted with a little report
Tell
on
us
the
what
bottom.
you're going to accomplish tomorrow. What are you going to be doing?
Tomorrow we're going to have some refreshments.
DiPietro,
Oh,
you're speaking out of line.
What was you asked Jeff the question, did you not?
No, I asked you. I said, DiPietro, tell us what are you going to be shooting and why are you there tomorrow morning?
Here's the thing. I'm glad you asked that question because everybody knows, Christopher will know by the time he's off this show that we don't rehearse a word. But
Nothing.
when we get there, if we're going to go live at 9, I'm there, like at 20 of or so, stuff like that. We have the first set, we have the first show already mentally in our mind, the first segment. After that, we don't know because a customer might come in and ask for something and I'll get an idea and I'll talk to the customer. I mean, we had some customers the last couple of years that come down and I saw how they've been treated, and I asked them, hey, do you want to, talk about? Sure. Okay. So somebody might come in and go over to service and say, I was here last fall and I noticed something, and watch how the service people deal with them. Or again, I guarantee you in the 3 hours tomorrow, somebody will come in with a little part and Jeff will know what it is without looking at it and have a replacement. And you know what? These are not like light bulbs that you can find at a Walmart. These are RV specific parts. Would you guys say that you have probably the largest parts department, at least in New England is concerned?
Yes.
Yeah. The largest parts and accessory showroom in New England.
Right. And then out front, Jill will have, Jill and I always do something on clothing, right, Jill?
Yes.
We do the new clothing thing.
Yes.
What's coming in clothing wise. And we just kind of like play it by ear. Somebody will come in and we'll talk to them. And we've never had a customer that I've approached say a bad word about, which when you go live, you don't know what they're going to do.
True.
So we're looking forward to it. It's always fun. I'm going to stop at Dunkin' on the way and pick up some of them munchkin things, or maybe I'll stop at Market Basket and get some of those cinnamon donuts there.
Don't tease me.
Ooh, cinnamon.
Christopher, any suggestions as to what you want for dietary delights tomorrow?
I'm gonna keep it lean. I'm suffering from Jill's combination of confectionery that she can make and the cakes and.
Well, yeah, if you guys if you'd stop doing a birthday cake every week, you'd probably lose about 20 pounds.
Yeah,
that would help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if she doesn't do a cake, she does the cupcakes. I mean,
right. Christopher, tell us what you must want to say something. You must want to say something to the New England RVing family, because you know what, and it really is a family.
Yeah.
We'll have other dealers on here that'll join us tonight. We'll have people from Elkhart that'll join us tonight. Jim Roy does a similar business at Silver Fox, right?
Silver Moose Restoration.
Silver Moose Restorations up in Maine, where he does Airstreams like the one behind me. But say anything you want to say.
Yeah, we'll give you the last word, Christopher, and congratulations again on what you've put down there.
Oh, thank you very much. No, I think it's for me, one of the things that I really loved about the business that David had built was that within the industry and me learning, every day, there's a lot of others out there that refer to units and new and used, and with David, it was always a customer. It was never, the numbers were irrelevant. It was really more, how do I service the customer? Because that's the business. We're there when something goes wrong. That's what the business is set up for.
That's why you're there.
Yeah. And I think that's it's a combination of a shoulder to cry on. It's a support system when something goes wrong. It's I love the fact that the industry is at the intersection of the three biggest purchases that a person will make. It's their house, it's their vehicle, and it's their travel. It's the three most important things that you'll do in your life. And
interesting.
And I think that is that's where you're adding value, not just from a business perspective, but you're really making someone's trip or getting them back on track. Or, in the winter, we're helping the full-timers, get through the winter with a furnace issue. Or there's just so many aspects where it's just more than a business. And I think that's refreshing. That's what gets me up in the morning, gets me motivated to come into work. And I think the only way that anyone can achieve that is with great people. And, that's, I think, David's greatest legacy in the business for me is the people that I have in the building just make it so much easier. And I have the confidence and the faith that everything they're doing is in the best interests of the business, but it's more importantly, it's in the best interest of the customer. That's what we're trying to achieve. It's there's no point being in it if you don't do it right. So like anything, we don't get it right every time, but we strive for it. And when we misstep, we correct and we move forward. And I think that's I feel really fortunate to be, part of, I like to say a community. You know what I mean? I think it's not just a lifestyle. It's a real community. So I'm excited to be entering it. I'm excited to grow with it and take it from there.
And we wish you well doing it. Any closing statements,
Cool.
Jill? Or
I think it's also.
Go ahead, John.
Well, I want to make one on before Jill and Jeff. Okay, I think it's important to say that Majors is not just for repairs and bad times, because if you go in the store and take a hard left, everything in that front left quadrant is fun stuff. Okay, yeah, there's toilet paper and there's toilet chemicals and there's toilets, but with the clothing, with the accessories, with you walk right in the door and you got all the barbecue stuff with the sticks for what do you call it, for marshmallows and that type thing. So don't think that the only time you can go there is when something's wrong. If you're in a good mood, go there.
And shop.
If you're in a bad mood, go there.
And shop.
Go there.
Just come on in and shop.
Hey, one thing in it that we are going to let you close, but the testimony of a good company is when, especially in your business, and it really applies to Majors RV and a couple of other people, but there are people in New England who purchase brand new RVs and they never go back to the dealer. They go to Majors RV, and they don't care about the warranty. And I'm not saying anything bad about any dealer. There are multiple options that people have in our industry, but there are many who are regular customers. They buy a new RV and they come through the door and they say, Jill, you'll never guess what I bought. And from that day forward, they're a Majors RV customer. They've been one for 30 or 40 years. That's a great business. Now I'll shut up and you two can go.
Bob, but to be honest with you, Bob, they're more than just customers.
Yes.
They're actually people we care about.
Look forward to seeing them.
And look forward to seeing them. We've got our seasonal customers that we walk through the door we haven't seen since the campgrounds closed in October, and they're a pleasure to see. So they're more than just, of course they're customers, but they're more than just customers when they walk in the door. They're people that we enjoy interacting with. We enjoy helping out. We're lucky. We're lucky and we're blessed. We truly are. There's not many people who can roll out of bed in the morning and go, I'm going to work, instead of going, oh, I got to go to work.
That's what I always said with my employees. If you cannot get your rear end out of bed in the morning and go someplace where you love what you're going to be doing for the next 8 hours,
then go find something else.
Quit and go find something else.
Hey, on a last note, let's not forget, folks, this weekend, Majors RV open house. Tomorrow's 15% for all vets and seniors. Friday and Saturday, spin the wheel, 10 to 40% off. Yep. Saturday, we'll have door prizes going on all day long. We've got vendors coming down to assist with different products. Come on down, see us. We'd love to see you. Who's coming down, Ben? Is Mike Perry coming down? Mike won't be there. We'll have Marriott, I believe, from
Mary.
Yep.
Brandon
from Dorima Group will be down. We'll have a whole bunch of people down there to give us a hand and to do some product demonstrations and be able to fine tune anything that we need them for. And special appearance by John DiPietro tomorrow.
Yes, we can't wait.
Can't wait. All right, guys. You got your dog with you? Thanks. You have your dog with you? The dogs? Yeah. Are they right there? Yeah, they'll be home.
Yeah.
Oh, they're right here.
Yeah.
You want one? Yeah, bring them over. Bring them over on the camera, and Zagami will show you his dog. No, he's sleeping. He's sleeping. Come here, Coop.
Come here, baby.
Oh, that's another thing. They have dog stuff
Oh, we got more dog
Yes.
stuff than we have. Come here.
Hey.
Who wants to come up?
because
They're both
we
going
have
up on your
read.
side.
Oh my goodness.
Come here, sweetie.
Oh, there's my big guy.
Cassie, Cassie.
Oh
We've
my
read
goodness.
statistics that
Oh
Big
my
guy.
goodness.
I know
Toby,
this big guy.
He loves you on the show.
50% of
All
our
right,
viewers travel with a dog.
We gotta get
Oh,
to
my
Uncle.
goodness.
We gotta get to Uncle.
Bob, your dog scared my dog away. He took one look at the dog. He's like, "Get me out of here."
You coming up?
All right,
Coming up?
we got to get to Uncle Bernie. Thank you guys. Best luck with the sale this weekend.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Bob.
Thank you.
We'll
John,
catch
I'll
up
see you tomorrow morning.
See you tomorrow morning. See you in the morning,
Thank
Chris.
you, Chris.
See you guys. So, in the wings, direct from Nashville.
How's that? Part two
Oh.
of double feature.
Bernie.
Oh my goodness,
Is
that was so
Nashville?
funny. It's great how Jill and Jeff are going to be, giving away all the stuff before Chris has a chance to cash in on it. That's really nice
Right.
of them.
Exactly.
How you gonna follow that act, Bernie?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't bring a dog with me, so I'm going to have to scoop up on GMA, see if he'll join me on the show tonight.
Who?
My wife, May.
Is May there?
She's around. She's hiding. Yeah.
Hiding. Yeah.
Wow, I see I have one of my fans out there, the folks from Stressless Camping. That's fantastic. I
Yeah,
got a chance to meet those guys out in Perry, Georgia. That was a lot of fun. But
Well, they can be.
yeah, they can be. Oh, they were hilarious. Yeah.
Actually, John and I just did their podcast yesterday, the day before. I don't even know what day of the week it is
Monday.
anymore.
Today's Wednesday. We do that on Monday.
Today's Wednesday, all day.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is when you do, not the problem, but the issue is when you do things with people in another time zone, you don't know what the hell day you're talking about.
Right.
And especially when Zagami changed the time of the show 4 times.
Oh man, it was terrible. I
Yeah,
was in and out of doctor's appointments, and I'd say, "Well, 4:00," and I say, "No, I got to do one at 4:30 or 5." And we're lucky. I think we were 6:00 by the time we got it done. But Tony and Peggy were very nice and very cordial to us.
Oh
So
yeah.
Bernie, as the new brand man, so sometimes Bernie is the host on the show. Tonight, he's the guest on the show. So you realize, being the guest on the show, you are subject to any banter or any knocking around that John and I want to do with you because you're in.
I'm ready. I'm ready for John for sure. You're always polite about the way you abuse me, but John, he gets right in there.
So tell us where you
And he's
were.
frozen, by the way, which is kind of good in a way.
Yeah. Tell us where you were. Did you want to say something, DiPietro?
No?
Oh, you're flashing your arms all around. So
Oh,
Bernie,
no. Bernie said I was frozen.
I do have one question. While you
Maybe
were
you're cold, but few are frozen.
while you were in Nashville,
Yeah.
did you go to Lainey Wilson's new bar, the Bell Bottoms bar?
I did not. I saw it from across the street where we were at the Red something or other, right across the street from there.
Did you go to the Wild Horse Saloon?
What I went to is Robert's Music Hall, which is my favorite place in Nashville. I walked down the street about, half a mile, and it's a little hole in the wall place, but they have the best house rockabilly band on the planet, and they just rock that little old place. There's no cover charge, no baloney. The beers are relatively inexpensive, and I get to hang out there for about an hour and a half one night. Yeah.
All right. So you still haven't told us why you were in Nashville.
The reason why I was in Nashville is for the 2026 Tiffin model year release party and for dealers. So that was quite an amazing event. We were at the Gaylord Opryland Resort and Convention Center, and we were in the Ryman Ryman Ballroom, and they rented out a big space, probably about the third of the size of the Boston show, and they put 33 motorhomes in there, all brand new 26, and several brand new floor plans and models. So it was quite an exciting show.
That's a great place to have a thing. I am disappointed that you did not find the Jack Daniels bar, which is right off the main lobby.
I'll tell you, Bob, on Thursday, I had got up around 2:45 to catch an early 5:00 plane down there. And I spent a lot of time in the airport. And then I got there about 2:00. By 3:00, I snuck into that ballroom area an hour before everyone else was supposed to be allowed in there. And I started taking pictures and doing videos because I knew they said there's going to be plenty of time to do everything. With that many units, there's no way I was going to get to all of it. So I figured I'd just bite off as much as I could before the crowds came.
Why don't we jump into your video? The video that you sent me, tell the folks who you have on the video and what it was like having that man sitting next to you in the recliner.
Yeah, I'm going to set this up a little bit.
Are you going to sing? Wait a minute.
No, I'm not going to sing. No, I'm not going to sing. Yeah, John doesn't like that. So at any rate, so there was we were doing our thing. It was day 2 of the event, and we had just gone through this big breakfast presentation, and we have pictures from there as well. I don't know if they're with us today, but we'll find out the hard way. But
I get all the pictures you sent me.
All right. So at any rate, it was just a lovely event where Bob Martin and Bob Tiffin were hanging around, and Leigh came in, and Leigh's wife Bailey Ann was the master of ceremonies for the whole event. And then we got back to the showroom area with the 33 vehicles, and I was kind of poking around, wondering what I was going to take video of next. And I made eye contact with Leigh Tiffin. He's the president of Tiffin Motorhomes, the grandson of Bob Tiffin. Very well spoken, very well educated person, knows the business from the ground up, obviously. And he looks at me, we make eye contact. He had his mouth full of something. He ran over to the trash barrel, took it out of his mouth and threw it down, ran over to me, shook my hand, and said hi. And after a few niceties, I said, hey, would you happen to be able to find a few minutes to speak with me on camera? And he said it would be my absolute pleasure. And I couldn't believe how gracious and congenial this man was, right? And you'll see that in our interview in just a second.
We will play that. But before I play it,
okay.
What besides RVs, what is Leigh Tiffin known for?
Bum, 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 bum. I would say it's got to be something to do with sports, right? Because that man's in great shape. He married an athlete. Yeah. Bailey Lee's a diver. I heard her talking about it. So did he play football for Auburn? Or
so did
don't mix that up, Bernie.
Yeah, so did his father.
I can kill you.
His father played for the Crimson Tide. I know he kicked the winning field goal for a championship. I didn't realize.
His dad either has the longest field goal at Alabama or the most field goals at Alabama. So every time there's an Alabama game, it looks like a Tiffin RV rally because they just all head down it. But let me run this because he's a fantastic guy. I know John's done some interviews with him in the past. Let's run this and then we'll jump into the products. All right?
Sure. Hey everybody, we're continuing with the Beyond the Brochure series, and what a better place to do it here at the Tiffin Dealer Days right in Nashville, Tennessee. Just so happens I bumped into Leigh Tiffin, the president of Tiffin Motorhomes. Leigh, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for coming. Great to be here with you.
What an amazing event that we've been having so far. Tiffin brought how many coaches here?
We've got over 30 coaches here, one of every single Tiffin floor plan, and I don't know that you could start a new model year off any better than to have every single floor plan, all the specs, all the features on display here in Nashville for every Tiffin dealer to see at the beginning of the model year.
It's almost too much to see and really dig deep into all the changes that you've made. And tell us a little bit about the floor plans that have changed. I can't believe the new floor plans, how innovative and unique they are.
Yeah, we've got several new debuts here at the show. The 29 NA Allegro Gas.
Love it.
Great floor plan, full wall slide, 30-foot package. You got everything you could want in a very compact package there. Our new GT1 144-inch wheelbase Sprinter touring coach is here. The GH2, our 170-inch wheelbase Sprinter off-road piece. The big brother to the GH1 is here, making its world debut.
Wow.
And then we're showing off power drive steering capability for Bus and Zephyr. Blackout packages on just about all of the diesels are now available. So it's aggressive, cutting edge. We're really stepping out there and trying to show everybody that Tiffin is thinking outside the box.
Well, Papa Bob is still here. He's still hanging out with everybody. He's still spending time doing customer service and everything else. You know, what does that legacy mean to the future of Tiffin?
I think he's a great example for all of us every single day. I mean, you know, how cool is it to, you know, be able to phone a grandpa?
Exactly.
If you will, you know.
Get the little business advice, and he probably has the right answer.
He does. And it's really neat, too, to get to work with a company founder that's done it since they were 30 years old, that's now in their 80s. I mean, you know, that's how rare is that? So, and just to see the legacy, see the stories, hear the stories from owners and dealers of just the tremendous commitment to integrity and doing things the right way over the years. It's really an honor to have a chance to extend that legacy.
Yeah, we saw Bob Martin and Bob Tiffin speaking on stage today, and there was just like a sense of adoration that Bob Martin had for Papa Bob, and it's great to see. It's great to see that it's there in you. It's alive and kicking in the president of Tiffin Motorhomes. And Leigh, I cannot thank you enough for spending time with us, and we appreciate the relationship that Tiffin Motorhomes has with Campers Inn RV.
Likewise, another family-led company.
That's right.
We have a lot of the same DNA. We appreciate you guys very much. Thank you for making the trip, and we're looking forward to a great 2026 model year together.
My pleasure. Have a nice day, sir.
Good job.
Bernie, that is one of the shot of your musical videos. That is one of the best videos you have ever done. And I understand you did all the editing on it, which is even more impressive. I couldn't even think about doing that kind of stuff.
I'll tell you, the actual interview is over 9 minutes long, and every second of it was as, if not more, engaging than that. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you a little secret. The reason why we're holding back on some of that stuff is because we're having this new video project that hopefully turns into a series of some sort called Beyond the Brochure. All right. And that's going to be deep dives into different manufacturers. And each episode could be several segments long. Because we must have taken, 12, 15 hours worth of video like during this event. And I can't wait to start dialing into it and digging in and all the overlays that's going to happen. I had the pleasure of having my colleague, Neil Daligdig, Neil Daligdig with me, and he did a fantastic job of making sure that getting all the footage. He would give me instructions. You go here, I'll go here. We're going to cover this and do this, and don't forget to take a picture of that. And oh man, it was just fantastic. It was a great experience.
Well, this is one of your first assignments as brand manager and
brand ambassador, because brand manager is something else.
Brand ambassador, right? Exactly.
Yeah, thank you.
But you can see the excitement in your voice and what you're doing. So I take it you're enjoying this new role at Campers Inn RV.
Oh, absolutely. And just as Jeff and Jill said earlier, and you alluded to, is that, if you don't wake up and say, I really looking forward to this day, I can't wait to get at it. You shouldn't be doing what you're doing. You should be doing something else. And this has been a long time coming for me. And I think I paid my dues enough and showed them of my evolution, my growth as an RV expert and Campers Inn employee to make this thing happen.
John? Any questions before we jump into some product stuff?
No. I think, the Tiffins, it's a big company, but it's not a corporate feeling at all. And, Trent's another cousin that is up there, and I haven't met Leigh's wife. We've done
the sales manager. Yeah. Bailey was doing,
haven't met her.
Well, she was an athlete and has a good background. And I understand she was outstanding as a moderator and, MC of the whole event, Bernie.
Yeah, she was absolutely brilliant. And we talked a little bit after, and she was telling me how, everyone was telling her what questions to ask and this and that. And so she had a good idea, but she said, when it all came down to it, I know these people, they're my family. So I just talked to them about stuff that was important to the company and to us as a family, and so it was really great. And again, the adoration and the love that you could hear in her voice and in Leigh's voice and Trent's voice about their grandfather, it was just amazing. Yeah.
Let's just look at some of our comments here before we go.
Oh yeah, we're forgetting our fans. Where do you want to go? What time?
Oh, let's start right at the beginning, right at 7:00. Walter Swenson says, "Evening all from Central Florida." Walter was just back for.
He just got back here to Florida. Yeah,
back for a couple of days up here in Worcester. Dressless.
Tony and Peggy said hello from sunny New Mexico.
Very nice. Hi from Nashville.
Hello from sunny Florida. Now the only difference, Tony, between you and me is you go to microbreweries and I have my Jack Daniels. So you have to have your priorities, Tony.
Yeah. I was in Nashville, Bernie. I went to Riviera College.
Really?
To see my friend over there.
That was one of our customers when I had my document imaging company.
Ah, that's why you left your card over at my desk. Yeah.
We were up there. And
we did that comment. Jim Roy, and man, has he been busting his ASS up there in Monmouth, Maine? He's doing, he built custom houses for years till he started this, but he wound up hiring some stiff of a wallboard person, and he's finishing up the job. I'm talking about high ceilings and, high walls, and it's his new garage for his toys, his motorcycle and his 1940s coupe, I think, and what have you. But it's good. John will have to put in clearance. That I did that. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. We had one in there about businesses. It is really happy for the folks at Majors RV, no question. It was an honor and privilege to speak with you both. And I'm he's talking about our podcast.
Right.
I'm looking forward to sharing the product with our audience tomorrow morning. Okay, send us our link, Tony, and we'll certainly republish it for you. Randy Murray.
He's back from Vegas, I think, right? Was he in Vegas?
No, I think he was in Connecticut. I don't know. He's all over the place.
No, Randy, I think he was in Vegas, the guy.
I have a very important question for Randy. How the hell many miles do you have on your airline account? Bernie, I sent you the note, all the pictures that you sent over to me.
Yes.
Is there one in particular you want to start off with?
Sure. If you don't mind, let's start off with the Wayfarer 25 XPW.
And that was the top selling Class C unit in the entire United States. I don't know if it still is, but it was.
It's number 2 right now behind the Revel, but they showed some specifications. And the Revel's really something a little bit different. It's more like a B+. It's more like an out overlander or out, adventure vehicle. It's a little bit different.
Like that. How can those be in the same category?
Well, I don't know. I don't know why they were. It had something to do probably with the chassis and the fact that it wasn't a straight B van.
Well, the crazy thing, Bernie, is we don't have a classification for B+. It's B's or C's. They kind of fit in the middle there.
They kind of get mushed in there, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like it's more a luxury vehicle rather than the Revel being towards the Outlander and going out boondocking.
Right. So at any rate, the reason why I want to bring up that XPW is that they've done some really unique things. When they put the X in front of the floor plans for all the Wayfarers, what they did is lower the floor and raise the ceiling. They created a flush floor front to back in one of these Class C Sprinter vans, which no one else is really doing. I haven't seen that. So, usually you have to spin the chairs around and put a cushion up there so you can bend at the knee and everything. Right. You don't have to do that anymore. And this floor plan is really unique where they put a huge wardrobe / pantry right between the seating area, which could be recliners or a dinette, and the Murphy bed. And so, first of all, it makes the hallway a lot less crowded, and they still have some extra storage along that wall. The bathroom is still really huge. Yeah. Huh?
You got any interior shots of that?
I don't have them with us right
He just
now.
got the shots that he took from the show floor.
But if you go to their website, you can see that floor plan and some shots of it from the inside. But let me tell you something. What I found is some people are 6'5" and they want to go RVing and they don't want a 45-foot bus. This vehicle, you can stand in the shower at 6'5" and you still have 3 inches over your head. It's amazing because of the way they designed this.
What else did you like, Bernie?
Okay. I love the brand new Allegro Open Road 29 NA. So you got that one? It's kind of in the middle of the list. Smack dab, Open Road 29 NA. There you go. Yeah, so this vehicle is just a smidge over 30 feet long. I did a really comprehensive video on this product with the product manager, so someone who actually helped design this piece. And for Tiffin, this is a stand-up outside kitchen, which for me is the first time ever. In the video, he says, well, we did some on other buses and stuff, but it was in a pull-out tray underneath the slide, which is not easily accessible, but this one is easily accessible.
That's a gas, right?
Yeah, it's a gas job.
Yeah.
Has a list price somewhere in the $275 range, I guess. Yeah.
Did you, Bernie, you've been selling these things now for years. I've been out there 29 years. John's been an RVer for years. Did you ever see the day that we would be selling gas motorhomes with an MSRP of $275,000? I mean, I remember the first time we passed 100,000, we thought the world was coming to an end.
Oh, I know it. You know, so some of their floor plans, like the 34 PA, if you get it certain equipment on it, it could be easily MSRP way into like the 320 range.
Oh my God! Wow.
But they're absolutely magnificent. And right now, if you look at the picture I'm sitting in, is the Allegro Bus 45 OPP, which they had this floor plan for a while, but look at the contemporary changes. So it used to be, you know, like a lot of grainy wood, and you used to see all the natural tones and everything. And they've gotten so sophisticated and, you know, contemporary, you know, to be honest with you.
That's a great approach.
Yeah, you know, and what they've done in my interview with Leigh, and he went right into it, he said, you know, the customer has changed. You know, the generations are shifting, and the styles and what people are looking for have changed. You know, the people that can afford these things are different folks.
Yeah, it looks like a gigantic window behind you. I know that it's a photo background, but it looks like it's one long. Is that a single slide? A full wall slide?
No, it's not a full wall slide, but it's two huge windows. They're about 3 feet tall and about 7 feet wide each window.
So is your head, move to the left or right? Are you? Is there a post between the two?
Yeah, okay. a small one.
Wow.
So those windows don't open.
Yeah.
And they're like, they don't need to open. We got all the ventilation, everything you could possibly need to keep that temperature the right temperature.
You probably got 3 ACs on the roof to make sure it's damn comfortable for you, too.
Oh, yeah.
What is it, a Zephyr? Is that a Zephyr?
No, this is the Allegro bus. I do have a picture of the Zephyr if you want to take a look on the outside. That is
gorgeous. Absolutely.
An outstanding coach.
700.
No, it's up to $1 million.
Yeah, that's the way that one's equipped, about 1.1, I'd say.
Yeah,
and the bus is over 800, well over 800.
Yeah. Well, look at it this way now, and I saw another interview with Leigh Tiffin. 10 years ago, they were Class A only.
Right.
If they were Class A only today, they'd be out of business.
Yes.
You know, and that's Trent, you know, keeping him up with the times. And even that time that he spent with Storyteller, you know, was actually really good time spent, because he's bringing all of those thoughts, the technology and everything along with it. You want to take a look at the Open Trail Owl. This is a concept vehicle and that they brought there. And
what's that?
One of the founders of Owl Vans, they do upfits for, you know, RVs. was there, and we did about a 35-minute video inside and out on this coach.
Wow.
And when you look at it up close, you're saying you could drive this thing through a brick wall. You know, it's that well.
I'm confused on the front end, right next to the sign that says Tiffin Open Trail.
I couldn't move that sign. It was killing me. They screwed it into the ground. I'm like, oh,
is it a typical front end, or is there a different? Because I know Owl makes all these accessories for.
Is it a Ford or Mercedes?
No, it's a Mercedes. And inevitably, I think they're going to have to change the chassis because this is a concept vehicle, so it's pretty much maxed out.
Okay.
But you should see the front end of that. You're right, Bob. So it's a big steel bumper with, those bars that, Stadies use. So they have to push a car out of the way. In this case, it could be knocked down a small tree or something like that. And they have a winch. So if you get off road, that winch is a 14,000 pound capacity. You wrap that around a tree, you could drag yourself right out of the hole.
Yeah.
Wow. That's incredible.
Absolutely incredible. And I'll tell you, talk about passionate people, the product manager for that product, as well as the co-owner over at Owl Vans. Oh my God, they couldn't even, they were gushing the whole interview. It turned into more of an interview than it did actually a walk around. But
I'm curious, Bernie, did you have trouble getting in to do the videos given the number of dealers that were out there and the fact that Tiffin chose to bring every single floor plan down there? I mean, was it a free-for-all when you had exhibit hours?
So there were times when I had to wait to get into a coach, or let's do another one for now and come back in a little while. But I was surprised that not every dealer took the opportunity that we did to spend as much time in the coaches, talking to the product managers, talking to the designers, talking to the sales managers, talking to the president, or whatever it may be. I just really, I said, this is a wonderful opportunity. I have to use every second. And, that first night, I didn't even have a drink. It was an open bar at dinner, and I walked away from it because I said, I got to get back and take some more footage.
Well,
how was the food? What do they give you for food?
Time out before you do that. We've talked about this many times before. The weakest link in our industry is salespeople that don't know anything about the products that they're selling. They don't take the time to understand the product, the specifications, the whole thing. And I know Tiffin's very big on that. It's kind of a little disappointing, but it doesn't surprise me that the Cameras In team was going to pay attention. John, go ahead. I stepped on your tongue there.
Food, Bernie.
Yeah, so the food. First night, they had a great buffet at the Water's Edge function area, it's like an outdoor. Everything is inside, but everything is outside. There's rivers going by. There's fountains, all kinds of great stuff.
It's real easy to get lost in that building, isn't it?
Oh, it took me a little while to get my bearings. I have to be honest with you, because it's big. It's really big.
Did you get over to the Grand Ole Opry at all?
I don't think so. I couldn't tell
you. It was right next door.
No, it's right.
Yeah, I'm sure it's all right there, but my time was dedicated. But let's talk about the food. So that layout was tremendous. They must have had 5 or 6 different types of salads in breads, and then they got into. Okay, go ahead,
Bernie. We got to teach you how to travel.
Yeah, I think we have to do a
the
little.
Hell with the travel. The hell with the salads and breads. Go right to the steak, the ribs, the shrimp, the lobster,
the tails. Come on, Bernie.
All right,
Bernie. The hell with the salads. They put those up front to fill you up so you don't eat the good stuff.
Well, they did have, Chateaubriand at the end of the service line. But again, I said, I don't want to pass out here. So I had the fish and chicken and some lighter stuff.
Bernie, I'm disappointed.
Hey, I was running on empty to begin with.
Chateaubriand on the table in front of you, and you take fish and chicken. Jack, we got.
I was just
we
reading
gotta
my
really
body.
sit
I'm
down
like,
with you,
I'm so
Bernie.
tired. If I
think we
eat
have to
beef
work-
right now, I'm gonna pass out right here.
We
Yeah,
gotta
I
sit
think we
down
have to
with you.
work with Bernie a little bit more.
The hell with the salads, Bernie. Go right
All
by
right.
the salad. Go.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, I'll
pick
take
out
your
another
advice
one.
and I'll
We're
make sure I
already-
prepare
we-
for it.
We're coming down to the last 5 minutes. Pick out
Oh
another
my
one. Tell
gosh.
me what you like.
Okay, so let's do that Tiffin Freightliner joining picture, because I want to talk to you a little bit about that.
Wait a minute, Bernie, don't just say, wow, that was quick, Bob. That's great work.
Oh, Bob, that was fantastic.
Oh, thanks, Bernie.
Yeah. So Freightliner had set this up, and I got a chance to spend some quality time with Robert Bernard, who is one of the project managers over there at Freightliner. I've known him for about 5 or 6 years now, and he does a great job. But what they've done is Tiffin, they said, Freightliner's in the chassis business. Let's let them do the chassis, but with our specifications. So now the Power Glide chassis that Tiffin had been making, and it's still Tiffin branded, is now being made at Freightliner. Freightliner has done a couple of things differently, nothing to upset the apple cart, but what they've offered this year is a power drive steering upgrade. So that's kind of like a steering that you'd see in some of the new Mars and stuff where they kind of self-correct and things like that. So it's definitely an upgraded feature, but they're supposed to be really good if you get a flat all of a sudden or a blowout in your front wheel. The wheel's not going to pull itself out of your hands, and it's going to be, and then also as you're coming out of these turns, you basically just let go of the wheel and it's going to bring you all the way back to center. And it's great on those long trips, so you don't have to be constantly looking back and forth in your mirrors to make sure you're staying within the lines in a coach that's only a half a foot narrower than the actual lane, right?
That's
so
on the big diesel pushers only.
So that's going to be on the Power Glide chassis, which is Phaeton, Bus, and Zephyr.
Right,
Okay.
so that's exclusive to Tiffin. They're just making that for Tiffin, right?
Making it for Tiffin, yeah. And so it's brilliant. And just so you know, in those buses, you can pretty much turn it into a Zephyr by going with the SL chassis and getting a 605 Cummins diesel with 1850 pounds of torque. It's just crazy.
Bernie,
Yeah.
Bernie, with all due respect, you're talking to Zagami and DiPietro, and we do not have any clue about what you just said.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll get back to it some other time when we have more time.
John, any questions, John? We're coming down to the home stretch. We can probably squeeze one more product in there.
Well,
All right, let's do the Phaeton 35CH. Yeah, so this is a brand new floor plan by Tiffin. And once again, this is something that's about 36 and a half feet long. It also shows beautiful new paint scheme in the blackout package.
Yeah.
So look at those wheels. Those are the
great looking package.
Oh my God, the paint job is so phenomenal. Some of the colors that they use in some of the coaches, they look like black. You get up close, looks like blue, looks like burgundy or something like that.
Is that the paint that kind of changes colors depending on where you are and where the sun is?
Well, you can see the light over the doorway shining on the paint. So there's actually a blue hue to that whole paint job. And it's just absolutely gorgeous up close. And you can see a little bit in the cargo door as well.
Now, is Phaeton still the #1 seller for Tiffin?
So something unique happened because of the Bob Tiffin. They use it as a separate category, which they really shouldn't. But if you put the bus sales and the Bob Tiffin bus sales together, you actually beat the Phaeton. And
Wow.
Tiffin has 3 of the top 5 best-selling brands in the Class A diesel range, and then also 8 out of the 10 best-selling floor plans in Class A diesel. Can you believe that?
Well, the Tiffin, the special Tiffin model, which was to honor his 82nd birthday, they only made 82 of those. So you add those two, and it's got a lot of his memorabilia. Did they have a Tiffin model on display?
So they didn't have a Bob Tiffin model there. I've been in it before. There's a lot of Southwest New Mexico styling, just like where Bob and Judy like to go. And just amazing. But it is a bus through and through, but they really do a fantastic job with the trim on that stuff. Yeah.
Well,
looks great.
Bernie, we're
already over.
Clocking in there at 8:00. We might have to have you back, but thank you for reviewing the Tiffin National Dealer Meeting, which, by the way, was the first one since 2018 and all the way through COVID to get all of the dealers together in one place. Right?
How many people there? How many attendees?
Well, at breakfast was the most amount of attendees. I'd say there was probably about 175 people there. I never saw more than 50 or so people, unless it was mealtime, in the display.
Interesting.
Wow.
What was your number one highlight of being with the Tiffin team for 3 or 4 days down there?
It had to be that time I spent with Leigh. He's such a genuine, real person. He has the clout to be and do whatever he wants, and he chooses to be a Tiffin through and through.
Yeah,
and he really holds that legacy to heart.
Yep, you're absolutely. Any closing thoughts, John?
Nope. Good job, Bernie.
Bernie, great job. We will see you down the road, my friend, and thanks for joining us tonight.
It's been my absolute pleasure spending time with you folks. Thank you.
Have a great night, everybody.
This edition of RVing in New England was a presentation of the New England RV Dealers Association. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.